And she's back. And she's back. And she's back. Back to talk. Talk about this thing. Talk about what's really the problem. What is really wrong? What issue do you really have with me? What issue do you have with anyone? Let's take me out of it. What issue do you have with anyone that doesn't agree with you? And why do you have an issue with those that don't agree with you? It's a major question to ask right now. What makes you not like someone that does not agree with you? I like to know. I'm gonna let it sit there for a minute and just, see. I want to see what kind of, because nobody ever comes on these things when I'm live. Nobody ever comes on to say nothing. Nobody ever has an opinion. But as soon as a picture is put up and I put something there, then everybody got something to say. So I'm gonna see today how many people join this live that have so much to say about what I have to say, what my opinion is on something, or what I may see from my perspective because of the world I work in. I want to see how many people come on here.
Let's pray. Father, we
I
thank
want
you
to
for
see
this.
how many people come on here. You know what I'm saying? I really want to see. Are you going to come on here? Are you not? I'm live for any of you guys that would love to come on. And I told myself, I need to come back in a different way this time. Let me come back different because I got my feelings. I got my feelings about it. Like, wait a minute. And this is an old time client that has watched, like, I have done her hair. She's watched my children grow up, all this. And you come with the most nastiest response. The most nastiest response. So I'm gonna read it because I don't have a problem doing that at all. And for anybody that has bitten their tongue, the prophet always says truth will never change or pass away. I don't care. And truth is stern. Most people don't like the truth. Truth hurts. So when truth hurts, you have to come back to combat to make someone else feel lesser than you. That's what usually happens, right? So let's see. It shows I'm live. So let's see. Did I put it there? I thought so. Okay. Let's see what I did. I think I did put it there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Did I put I was live? They know I'm live. They know I'm live. We're gonna make sure though. We're gonna make sure though, because we sure don't want these things to get passed, right? Since people are in a bunch about this. I mean, and they're really upset. You're upset about a picture. You're upset about something that was posted. But you don't want to come on and discuss. You don't want to see that we've been living in these times forever, that this is nothing new. Who remembers Bosom Buddies? Who remembers any of these shows that were like that even back then? To try to make a remark like this has not been being done forever? Or you want to ignore the fact that this is what's going on? But why? What do you have to hide? What are you hiding behind? So I said discussion download. What are you all mad about? That was my question. That's all I said about the picture when they put up this picture. So they put a picture up of Obama and Michael. Michael, when he was young, I mean, okay. He calls himself Michelle. All right. Nothing should be wrong with that. What a crazy, this is what the post says. What a crazy and evil world we live in. Days foretold in the Bible that good would be called out and evil good, that evil would be good. God's warning, woe to those people. Whoa. It is no secret that Michelle Obama is a man. Even when the truth is in plain sight, so many refuse to believe the obvious. But why? Like, why? These are the people I think that are against it. See, I think they want to play like that side is against it, but really, the side that's complaining is against it. People who support the movement become offended when Michelle is exposed as who he is or she is. Why? It's supposed to be a beautiful thing. That's what I thought too. I thought it was not a problem because this is supporting the LGBTQ community. Did not Obama and them pass all the laws for them to get married, to be able to be on each other's insurance? What did they pass for you and your husband? They made sure that those couples were good. So to me, it is a beautiful thing if that's what he is. That's fine. I've worked with many transgenders. Because you're a transgender, because you are a part of a community, don't make you not be a loving person. It doesn't make that. That don't make something wrong with you. See, what's wrong, y'all think perfect. Y'all are thinking these people are perfect and not realizing they're no different than you. If you ain't got no sin, you cast the first stone. Since you got so much to say, cast it at me. Because I know I got wrong in me. That's the difference. I don't have to walk around with a degree or this kind of award or that kind or to be anything to anyone. I know I love me enough. That's the part. I love me enough. I don't need nobody to love me like that because I love me enough. So to keep going, think of the irony. The system pushes for children to believe they are not necessarily a boy or a girl. Yet the same system hides the truth about Michelle. This is born from Satan. So, are you believers? A twisted fallen angel who despises God and all that is good. He wants this nation and all nations to be cursed. No different than the fact that France's first lady is also a man. Is it to put the nations into judgment? But the nations do it for Satan's favor. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, give us vigor for truth. Because your saints to stand in these last days that we do great exploits for your glory. So these photos are old, and I just showed them to you. They claim they're AI generated, but they're not. Everything's not AI, y'all. These pictures were out a long time ago. So AI has nothing to do with this. So these are the comments. So one person said, I don't believe this anymore. At one point, I thought the same, but just because she might have some masculine looking features doesn't make her a man. The photos of her youth, along with her dad, shows otherwise, and that's fine. But like I told this person, when I was little, before I got breasts, my mom used to let us go outside with no shirt on. Did that mean you was a boy? Some little boys I've seen that they have on swimming suits. Okay, just because I went outside like that didn't make me no boy. Just because someone dresses like a boy don't make them a boy when they know that they're a girl, or vice versa. But the world is they're cool with this. But y'all ain't said nothing about these children, that the 76 children that were found in New York that they claim got lost in a tunnel. I ain't heard none of y'all intelligent folks talk about them. I ain't heard none of y'all intelligent folks say nothing about the babies that were found, about the children that have been being found. But you take your children to these Disney worlds and Disneylands where more children are kidnapped and taken into tunnels than anything. But you coming for me about this? And half of y'all don't even protect y'all's children from the evils that lurk. You put them in schools with the European thinking that that's going to change the trajectory on their life, and it don't. When they grow up, then they're going to tell you how much they were teased and talked about. That you didn't know what was going on because you felt like, oh, because we live in this prestigious neighborhood and our children go to these prestigious schools, that our children are perfect. No, you're not perfect, and neither are your children. And I said to her, wait, okay. So that's what she said. So we had a conversation. So someone else comes and says, as someone growing up and being called a man, I just know we have a strong, profound structure. Sure can. My voice is deep. I even on a post because I was like, oh, that big Mike. I had all these Europeans come for me yesterday. I'm a NIG. I'm a man. Hey, whatever. But I can prove I have 4 children. I could prove 4 children pushed up out of me. 4. And would have had more if I didn't do things that I shouldn't have did to my body. When you talk about a woman should have a choice. Well, I did. And my choice wasn't the best choice. Because it would have been 8 of them, baby. And that's just being transparent. Because most women can't even be that transparent about themselves. They run and hide from the things they know they've done. I don't have to. So here comes the next one. First and only thing I will say is I have bitten my tongue for years of this nonsense now. I am so utterly disappointed in you. You believe you stand for truth and seem to believe your truth is the only one. I never said, but truth is all. And truth will never change or pass away. So when the truth slap you in the face, you need to come back and read this post. Always been searching for somewhere you belong, and I guess you believe you have found it. To perpetuate this type of propaganda is disgusting. I believe as the years pass, you will have many regrets. What am I having a regret about? No, you're going to have many regrets because you'll allow your child to go to school with children that don't even think that they're who they are. So we know if they're only with the European children, they ain't being taught about who they are. From a real aspect of who they are, they're being, it's being shadowed, it's being covered up with a mask because of where you live and how much money you make. So don't ever come for me and you telling me I'm trying to find somewhere to belong. I belong right here. And my purpose is to uplift the people. That's my purpose. So when, because I found my purpose and maybe you don't know your purpose, doesn't make it wrong. It don't make you no better than me. And it makes me no better than you. Because we all have a purpose. We're all here for a purpose. What is your purpose? Y'all spend too much of your purpose being in other people's business. Because as I said, as many lives as I've done, as many teaching aspects as I brought on, you ain't had one thing to say about it when it comes to your spirituality. But you'll come and speak up for somebody that don't know nothing about you. And if they do know something about you, have they ever came to aid in your help? Have they ever came to help you when you were in need? That's how much time we have invested in other people's stuff. And when I put it up, I just see where people's thoughts are. Not that I'm trying to argue with you about anything. But so what if that person is? So what if that person decides to be a woman? So what if that woman decides she wants to be a man? So what? And that's been going on forever. Go read the Roman Empire. It's been going on forever. And y'all think this is something new for somebody? So, my question was, so if she is, so what? Do you have something against the transgender community? Because it's nothing new. So why so offended by someone that don't know or care about you? I'm curious. She came back and said something else. But my thing is, truth is but one. Truth is act. Truth is a lie. Whether you believe in a higher power or not, the soul is perfect even in the bosom of a fool. So as much as you might think I'm a fool, as much as you might be a fool, your soul is still perfect if you got one. That's if you got one. But most of these people that love to come on here and talk stuff, they live in a gated community. They don't come in to do anything in the city for the community or for the people, the homeless, or anything that's out there. Not to say that that's what you have to do, but you go and drive to your gated communities, no different than these Asians go and drive to their gated communities. And all these other people that bring their businesses into the city. When most of my clients have been to my house when I lived in the city, in the hood, And when you go back to drive back to your beautiful home with your gated community and all the beautiful people around you with their beautiful cars, you don't know what's going on behind them closed doors. Majority of those communities are filled with the files, the pedos, and all the rest of that stuff. Your next door neighbors, and maybe even going on in your own household. Because someone said, well, the black community never did that. Please, the black community did. If you go back, the black community it was a lot of incest back then. Having children within families and things like that. What? Most of the molestation happened with your uncle, your cousins, or any of that. It wasn't nobody outside of your family. It was no one outside of your family. So truth will never change or pass away. I don't care how much y'all try to run from the truth of the things that even happened to you as a child. The veil is lifted, boo. And when the veil is lifted, it means it's lifted. So all that you've been believing in, are you sure that's what it was? Or perhaps you thought that was the truth because somebody told you that was the truth. You ain't never laid up with them people. My question, have you been in the bed with them too to know what's going on for you to be so on the defense about these folks? Have y'all laid up with these folks? You have to start asking these questions because sometimes I look at the community and say, wow, y'all been much in the minds. And I'm not perfect. Far from it. But through my journey and through my healing journey, I stopped doing hair and all that. For reason being that's too much energy and too many people carry too much weight. And I'm empathic. So every time they carrying something, it falls off on me. Because I'm just that empathic. Very empathic. So I had to learn when to say, okay, my hands need to be in something else, doing something else to help the community, doing something else to help the people, because I'm harnessing too much energy from being over their auras. And everybody don't have a good spirit. I don't care how dressed up they look on TV, how beautiful they look. I have fired myself from some people. Like I will never do them again and ain't looking to and could care less why my name was on that project. That's how uninterested I be in this. I've been around enough so-called important people. I've been in many mansions. I've driven cars for the ball players when they couldn't drive from the club because I do their wife's hair, and that's the only woman better be driving that car to drive you home. And because I'm the hairstylist, they know it ain't like that. I've been there, done all that. Not to brag on nothing. So what? They're just regular people having the same issues everybody else has. So because your status is higher than mine, don't never think that I'm trying to do anything to belong. Because did you do what you do to belong? I never became a part of a fraternity to belong. I came a part of the Moorish Science Temple because I wanted to find myself and better myself. It wasn't for no one else. I keep it a buck with everybody. I never came in there looking for no man. I came in there looking for me. The prophet found me and I came looking for myself. So because that's not work that anyone else has decided to do with themselves, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. That's your personal problem. And you have to check yourself on that. That's not for Latay to even judge or do any of that. And I'm not judging her by calling her. I just said it's a man. And that's not judging nobody. Like I said, I do plenty of people like that. And love them. But that does not mean anything is wrong with them because that's what they choose to be. And that's y'all's problem. You want to hide the fact that you're against it by trying to cover it up. Oh no, she's not. Oh no, how you know? And if she was, then what? Now when it come out that she is, what you gonna do? But hold your mouth open? Because it just shows how much you are judgmental of people. Because if that's what he or she decided to do with herself, why is it up to you to be mad at the next person for saying it? You don't get mad when somebody called me a man. You don't get mad because somebody called you a man because you got chin hairs. You ain't you, but you gonna get mad because somebody said that about somebody you have no relationship with. And that's sad, y'all. It's really sad that most of our people love to jump through hoops for these doggone heroes. They love to jump through hoops for these Europeans. And European don't necessarily mean Caucasian. European comes in all different colors because a lot of our people are a part of this European concept. They're a part of the fall because they are a part of those fallen angels. They think they not because they got melanated skin. That's a lie. Because you got melanated skin don't mean you came back in with the correct spirit. Or even that you came back with a soul. Because most people don't realize everyone don't have a soul. Everybody got a spirit, but everybody ain't got no soul. So there's only so many souls here, and that is the truth. It's only so many real people anymore. Real people. I mean, that ain't got injections and did things to mess themselves up. There are only a small amount of those people that decided to love themselves enough to just appreciate who they are. And they don't have to go do anything to belong. Because most of y'all got Kool-Aid in your arm to belong. You didn't even have faith in God to say, God got me on this. You didn't even have faith in God. You have faith in man. And that's the problem. You have faith in man. You have faith in man. That's who you have faith in. You never have faith in God. You never have faith in God. To allow them people to do that to you or to do anybody in your family like that, you never have faith in God. You have faith in man. And that was a no-no. And that God is within you. The God in you should have been tapping into you. Not you waiting for somebody to come out the sky to tell you. Not for somebody to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You have to find this. This is for you to find. This is for you to find. So I want to talk about a couple of chapters because no matter when I come on here, I have to bring the prophet into the demonstration. Because without Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Latay would be Latay J. Bay. Without these teachings of finding myself, so when finding myself, I found out the misery, the inconstancy in me, the instability in me. Most of y'all can't even, man, that's why people don't come over here to this more science. Because if you got to dig into these lessons, not the surface level would get you out of here and get you out of that, but really have to dig into it to find you. Most people run away from it. They hurry up and put it down as soon as they start feeling themselves in it. They got to put it down and run away. I didn't. I keep it next to me. When I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling heavy, I know that's where I need to go. At least I have a recipe. I have a recipe for my life. And it is out of the Circle 7 Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And I carry it on my dial plate. I do. I go back and remember those lessons. What it is to love instead of hate. Stop judging people based on because of the way they look, the way they dress, the lifestyle they came from, because nobody's judging you. So I want to talk about chapter 43 for a minute. Chapter 43. And these are always the most powerful chapters because when I'm feeling heavy, I got to go to these chapters. And I was feeling heavy, and that chapter just fell open. 43 and 40. Well, 44 fell open first. 44 fell open first, but 43 was okay. And that's the insufficiency of knowledge because when I go through something, I have to always go back and check myself. And I check myself through these lessons. I don't check myself by just checking myself and saying, oh, Tay, you did. I'd be like, let's go find out where you might have messed up. Let's go find out where we can fix this because of this heaviness that I get to feel. It comes in my stomach. That's when I know I need the prophet's lessons. Not the prophet himself, because the prophet's energy and spirit is within me. But I need his lessons. I need to go to the word and I need to pull his words and make sure they're resonating with me. Sometimes to a point, I even ask AI to break it down in a third grade level language. So I know I'm not missing it. I know I'm catching what's being said. But sometimes I got to go back to my childlike mind to imagine. That's the thing. So in chapter 43, the divine instructions, and I want to rise giving the highest holy honors to holy high praises and honors to Allah the Father and Allah the Mother. Because it's never one without the other. It was always those two. That energy. All right. Giving the highest praises, just and honors for all the love and guidance and salvation that they bring into my life. Giving high holy honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali and all the divine prophets for all the wonderful works they brought us, whether that's Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, Mohammed, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, etc. Can keep going because prophets continue to come. They're God's energy within, and they come and they're manifested through the thought of Allah, which is the mother and the father. So giving honors. And may our hearts and minds be bound together as they were in ancient times as we read these lessons. Chapter 43, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, the Insufficiency of Knowledge. If there is anything lovely, if there is anything desirable, if there is anything within the reach of man that is worthy of praise, is it not knowledge? And yet, who is it that attaineth it? The statesman proclaimeth that he hath it. The ruler of the people claimeth the praise of it, but findeth the subject that he possesses it. Evil is not requisite to man, neither can vice be necessary to be tolerated. Yet, how many evils are permitted by the conveyance of the laws? How many crimes committed by the decree of the council? But be wise, O ruler, and learn. O thou that art to command the nations, one crime authorized by thee is worse than the escape of 10 from punishment. So, you excuse stuff, and you constantly excusing stuff, but you never defend the right stuff, but you'll excuse stuff. When the people are numerous, when thy sons increase about thy table, sendest thou them out to slay the innocent and to fall before the sword of him whom they have not offended? If if the objects of thy desire demanded the lives of 1,000, sayest thou not, I will have it? Surely thou forgottest that he who created thee created also these, and that their blood is rich as thine. So don't think that you got something up on somebody because you might know some things or got a degree in something. Don't make you. He who made you made also us too. And that's to those that ain't even connected to the source. Sayest thou that justice cannot be executed without wrong? Surely thy own words condemn thee. Say thou that justice cannot be executed without wrong? That's a question. Surely thy own words condemn thee. Thou who flattereth with false hopes the criminal, that he may confess his guilt, art not thou unto him a criminal? Or art thou guiltless because he cannot punish it? When thou commandest to torture him whom is but suspected of ill, darest thou to remember that thou mayest rack the innocent? That's a question. Is thy purpose answered by the event? Is thy soul satisfied with his confession? Pain will enforce him to say what is not, as easy as what is. And anguish hath caused innocence to accuse herself, that thou mayest not unalive him without cause. That thou does worse than unalive him, that thou mayest prove if he be guilty, that thou destroyest him innocent. Oh, blindness to all truth. Oh, blindness to all truth. Because our people are so blind to truth. They've been so programmed that they can't even see the truth anymore. The truth is but one. Oh, blindness to all truth. Oh, insufficiency of the wisdom of the wise. No, when thy judge shall bid thee account for this, thou shalt wish 10,000 guilty to have gone free, rather than one innocent to stand forth against thee. Insufficient as thou art to the maintenance of justice, how shalt thou arrive at the knowledge of truth? How shalt thou ascend to the footstep of her throne? Wisdom. This knowledge and wisdom, because wisdom and knowledge are one. As the owl is blinded by the radiance of the sun, so shall the brightness of her countenance dazzle thee in thy approaches. If thou wouldest mount unto her throne, first bow thyself at her footstool. If thou wouldest arrive at the knowledge of her, first inform thyself of thy own ignorance. More worth is she than pearls, therefore seek her carefully. The emerald and the sapphire and the ruby are as dirt beneath her feet. Therefore pursue her manfully. The way to her is labor. Attention is the pilot that must conduct thee into her port. But weary not on the way, for when art arrived at her, the toil shall be to thee for pleasure. Say not unto thyself, behold, truth breedeth hatred, and I will avoid it. Dissimulation raises friends, and I will follow it. Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? I'm going to say that again. Are not the enemies made by truth better than the friends obtained by flattery? Baby, yes. Yes. Because I'd rather have enemies because I'm telling the truth than some friends because they're flattered or they're excited about. I don't want flattery. Naturally does man desire the truth, yet when it is before him, he will not apprehend it. And if it force itself upon him, he is not offended at it. The fault is not in truth, for that is amiable, but the weakness of man beareth not its splendor. Wouldst thou see thy insufficiency more plainly? View it thy devotions. To what end was religion instituted? But to teach thee thy infirmities, to remind thee of thy weakness, to show thee that from heaven alone art thou to hope for good. That's a question. Doth it not remind thee that thou art dust? Does it not tell thee that thou art ashes? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And behold, repentance, is it not frailty? When thou givest an oath, when thou swearest thou wilt not deceive, behold it, spreadeth shame upon thy face, and upon the face of him that receiveth it. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are unnecessary. The shorter follies are the better. Say not therefore to thyself, I will not play the fool by halves. He that heareth his own faults with patience shall reprove another with boldness. He that giveth a denial with reason shall suffer a repose with moderation. If thou art suspected, answer with freedom. Whom shall suspicion affright except the guilty? So if suspicion frightens you, you must be guilty. Suspicion don't frighten me. The tender of the heart is turned from his purpose by supplications. The proud is rendered more obstinate by entreaty. The sense of thy insufficiency commandeth thee to hear, but to be just, thou must hear without thy passions. To be just, you got to hear without your passions. And most people are caught up in their passions. So I'm going to break this chapter down, like maybe in a third, and it's a short breakdown of what this chapter is saying. In chapter 43, the focus is on the distinction between superficial power and true wisdom, urging us to question the external validation we receive. It highlights that justice is often comprised by human laws, and that the greatest failure is harming a single innocent soul, a moral failing that outweighs any failure to punish the guilty. So in 43, wisdom versus power. But true understanding is rare and not guaranteed by their position. So these leaders, any of the leaders that you follow, it doesn't matter who it is. Because it told you the statesman proclaims that he got it. It tells you everybody claim they got this not wisdom. They got this knowledge. But wisdom versus power. Leaders may claim wisdom, but true understanding is rare and not guaranteed by their position. Justice and law. Laws can sometimes protect the wrongdoers or hurt the innocent. Hurting even one innocent person is worse than letting 10 guilty people escape. Human equality. All people are created equal and share the same fundamental worth, regardless of their social standing. Like he said, their life is just as important as yours is. Their blood is as rich as yours is. Just because you got a lot of money and live in a fancy house don't make your blood no richer than the next man that's probably homeless on the street, or the person that lives in the projects, or the man locked behind the walls. Your blood ain't no richer than theirs because you didn't do nothing in your life. Because I don't have no record don't make my blood richer than nobody's that got a record. Because a person with a record can have a better heart than somebody out here in this world with all this stuff they got. The man homeless on the street got a better heart than the person living in the 6-bedroom house. So it's funny to, when we see that. So we're all this, we're all important. And that's supposed to be the whole thing of this. Regardless if that is the truth or not the truth. Why does it matter at this point? And why are you ending relationships with people? And why are you attacking people for something you ain't even sure of yourself? You're just talking to be a part of what's being talked about. Ain't nobody really bringing no real solution to anything. You just running your mouth because this is what the new thing is to talk about to throw everybody off. While there were 76 girls in New York's sewer system that got lost. 76 lost little girls. That's funny. But y'all ain't talking about that. So y'all would let one go innocent. Them. Because that ain't what they is and that ain't what they is, but they got a whole lot to do with these children. For the ones you keep talking about, that ain't what they is. Now we're going to go to the chapter of misery. Because like I said, I had to come to this dealing with myself. And this is before, this was yesterday. This was yesterday. And 44. Because this is the quickest thing we all run to. And this is the first one that laid open for me. Because I said, Allah, bring me a chapter. And misery is where it opened at. Most definitely I needed it because this is the first thing we run to. We run from everything that's good. Everything bad, we cool with it and it hurts our feelings. We run, but we run from the things that are good for us. So in chapter 44, the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. Holy instructions from the Prophet of misery. This is people's favorite part. Most people run from this chapter, and I read it so many times because it's so true. This is our people as a whole. This is our people as a whole. So feeble and insufficient as thou art, oh man and good. So you even insufficient and good. We even be insufficient in the good things. Frail and inconstant as thou art in pleasure, yet there is a thing in which thou art strong and unshaken. Its name is misery. We strong and unshaken in that misery. We love that misery. That's why they say misery loves company. Misery is an energy. It is the character of thy being, the prerogative of thy nature. In thy breast alone it resideth. Without thee there is nothing of it. And behold, what is its source but thy own passions? What is the source of misery but your own passions? Your own passions cause the misery because we have passions for these things. And if we to lose these things, if somebody talks about this thing, if someone comes up against this thing, they be our passions, but that's the misery. The misery. The source of that misery is our own passion. Wanting something so bad. Who gave thee these? Gave thee also reason to subdue them. Exerted, and thou shalt trample them under thy feet. Thy entrance into the world, is it not shameful? Thy destruction, is it not glorious? Lo, men adore the instruments of unaliving with gold and gems and wear them above their garments. Love to be flashy. So I'm going to stop right there for a second. Thy entrance into the world, is it not shameful? Thy destruction, is it not glorious? Men adore the instruments of unaliving with gold and gems and wear them above their garments. They'll go get them a chain with Jesus on the cross. They'll go get all that stuff. But you never see this my thing. You never see you never see a where are you at? Where is you at? Let me tell you what you never see. We're gonna talk about this. Because now that we're right there, I can pull this out right now and tell you this. Because even that right there comes right onto this right here, the old rugged cross. And what is that emblem around your neck? What's that emblem around your neck? What is the meaning of it? And what is the history of it? If you know, what's the history of that thing around your neck? Y'all wear all these crosses and stuff around your neck. What's the history? What's the story of it? Huh. Am I to understand that you love the instrument upon which your Jesus was hanged, tortured, and unalived, according to your adopted religion? Am I to understand that you kneel before and pray towards an instrument that brought great suffering, shedding of inside stuff, and finally unaliving to the one who you profess to love? You mothers and fathers who had sons unalived in battle, meaning military battle, do you also have a picture of a gun or a bomb or a knife on your wall? Would you love a weapon used to unalive your loved one? Then how could you love the Jesus of your adopted religion and love the symbol of unaliving and the instrument of unaliving, put together by the European enemies of Jesus for the purpose of unaliving him? How can this be? Are you not double minded in this? Know you not that the cross represents the animal carnal self? Know you not that the cross represents Nimrod, Saturn, Satan, and the world of material existence? Yeah, and this cross is a symbol of the nations of Europe. And your enemy knows that I speak what is true. The cross had its beginning in an ancient Egypt, in an ancient Egypt, and first appeared under the name of Ankh. The Ankh had a dual meaning. and was composed of an upper circle connected to a cross. The circle above the cross represented the head of man, and the lower cross represented the body. The Egyptians believed that man was composed of two contrary spirits. The higher divine spirit was represented by the circle, and the lower cross represented the animal part of man. Joined together, the combined meant everlasting life. We find this belief displayed in the Sphinx, a statue of a man's head attached to the body of a lion, and the statue of a pagan god Horus, a statue of a man's head attached to the body of a bird. When the barbarian nations, Anglo Saxons, Jutes, Almanians, Ostrogoths, Visigoths, Burgundians, and Franks were driven out of the holy city of Mecca and out of Egypt 12,640 years ago. They worshiped the lower animal qualities of man and adopted a symbol like unto the Ankh, but with the head cut away. And this was the beginning of the present day cross. So, what you worship when you bow down before the present day cross is the animal of carnal part of man, and none but the devil teaches that man should follow his animal, carnal, immoral, headless, non-thinking nature. See, you not know how you have been misled. For the devil receives life through the immoral, headless, non-thinking people who follow their animal nature. Hmm. Disclosure Day was a great movie. I hope y'all seen it, because boy, that even gives it to you right there. You'll never see somebody's child that went to war and was unalived in war walk around with that same weapon that took their loved one out around their neck. It's just like you won't see certain communities take their children to your schools. You'll put your children in their schools, but they ain't never trying to figure out how to get their children in your schools with your people, because they're not accepting of you. If they were, then that's what they would be doing. But they're not. So we put all this stuff above us to make us look like we fit in, to make us look like, oh yeah, I'm praising who I'm supposed to pray. Then my mommy's ashes. Symbolism of sacred geometry around my neck. That's it. The sacred geometry of my mother right there. Anything else, I'm gonna have a butterfly. I'm gonna have something that represents life. But to wear something like that, yeah, I'll put an unk around my neck because I know what that means. But y'all run behind things that you have been so misled about. And I'm so happy this disclosure is coming. I'm so happy to get rid of all this fake everything, fake love, fake religion, fake this, fake that, fake all of that. So glad that this time is now, that it will be no more. I'm so happy for that. So as I say, you don't see nobody putting no doggone nothing on their wall. I mean, around their neck. When the people take out the deer and stuff, they put the heads on the wall. I don't understand that neither. That ain't showing love to that animal. You took that animal out and then you took his head and put it on your wall. So it's funny how we can pick and choose what side of the coin we want to be on. Well, you can. You can choose your lower self or your higher self. It doesn't matter. He who begetteth a man hideth his face, but he who unalives 1,000 is honored. Know thou, notwithstanding that this is error, custom cannot alter the nature of truth. Neither can the opinion of man destroy justice. Period. Point blank. The glory and the shame are misplaced. Know thou, with notwithstanding that in this is error, Custom cannot alter the nature of truth because that's your custom. And you said because whatever you say, that does not alter the nature of truth. Truth never changes or passes away. Neither can the opinion of man destroy justice. So because that's your opinion, because it's my opinion, it can't destroy the justice. And most people don't even know that Jesus means justice. When he said the head was taken off, yeah, because the head of Satan was taken off in 1452 Byzantine, the Byzantine Empire. That's when they took it off. Is that when they took that off? You know what I'm saying? Heads taken off all the time. There is but one way for man to be produced. There are 1,000 by which he may be destroyed. There's no praise or honor to him who giveth being to another, but triumphs and empires are the rewards of unaliving. Yet he who hath many children has many blessings, and he who has taken away the life of another shall not enjoy his own. While the savage curses the birth of his son and blesses the unaliving of his father, doth he not call himself a monster? The greatest of all human ills is sorrow. Too much of this thou art born unto, and not unto it, but by thy own perverseness. Grief is natural to thee, and it is always about thee. Pleasure is a stranger, and visiteth thee by times. Use well thy reason, and sorrow shall be cast behind thee. Be prudent, and the visits of joy shall remain long with thee. Every part of thy frame is capable of sorrow, but few and narrow are the paths that lead to delight. Pleasures can be admitted only simply, but pains rush in 1,000 at a time. That pain rush in 1,000 at a time. Hit hard. As the blaze of straw fadeth as soon as it is kindled, so passes away the brightness of joy, and thou knowest not what becometh of it. Sorrow is frequent, pleasure is rare. Pain cometh of itself, delight must be purchased. Grief is unmixed, but joy wanteth not its alloy of bitterness. As the soundest health is less perceived than the lightest malady, so the highest joy touches us less deep than the smallest sorrow. We are in love with anguish. Our people love anguish. We often fly from pleasure. When we purchase it, costed it not more than it is worth. Reflection is the business of man. A sense of his state is his first duty. But who remembereth himself a boy? This chapter gives me Disclosure Day a lot, right? In certain parts, I can see the movie through these lessons. It is not in mercy, then, that sorrow is allotted unto us. Man foreseeth the evil that is to come. He remembereth it when it is past. He considereth not that the thought of affliction woundeth deeper than the affliction of self. So even when you're thinking about affliction on someone, just like the person came in there, the people that came at me yesterday, and even the lady that I've been on, considereth not that the thought of affliction woundeth deeper than the affliction itself, because the sin starts in the wish and the desire. So even by telling me you just want to fit in with somebody, you really, it's the energy behind it that's telling me right there. That's telling me like the energy I'm feeling from what is being said, because it was never called to say it to me. So I can feel the energy from it. And consider it not that the thought of affliction wounded deeper than the affliction itself. The sin is in the wish and the desire. It's not in the act. It's in the thoughts. It's already in your thoughts. When you think it, just because you haven't acted upon it, does not make it not a sin. You already thought it. So the energy is already in motion. You don't realize you already called it out to manifest it. And you can't call it back. Or maybe you can delete it. You might can delete it. Who knows? Think of not Think not of thy pain, but when it is upon thee, and thou shalt avoid what most hurt thee. He who weepeth before he needeth, weepeth more than he needeth. And why? But that he loves weeping. You like weeping? The stag weepeth not until the spear is lifted against him, nor do the tears of the beaver fall till the hound is ready to seize him. Man anticipates his unaliving by the apprehension of it, and the fear is greater misery than the event itself. Be always prepared to give an account of thine actions, and the best unaliving is that which is less premeditated. Stop trying to take yourself out. Try to take yourself out. Don't take yourself out. So, we're going to break that down. The profit of misery. Strength in hardship. Humans are often weak in happiness, but show great strength and resilience in the face of misery and pain. That's what I'm saying. I ain't seen none of y'all that come on for all the negative stuff ever come on for the positive stuff to celebrate anything. So that shows me right there. Strength in hardship. Humans are often weak in happiness, but show great strength and resilience in the face of misery and pain. If I was causing misery and pain, telling you about Cardi B and everybody else and how miserable, you be on it. On it, on it, on it. The root of unhappiness. Misery often comes from within, driven by our own strong passions and desires. Reason over emotion. We are given the gift of reason to control our emotions and actions rather than letting our passions rule us. The value of life. Society incorrectly honors destruction and war while failing to praise the creation of life and honest living. Right? So in chapter 44, it does, because that was a little breakdown of chapter 44. But in chapter 44, it also delves into the duality of human nature, if you're looking at 44. And 44, even when you're looking at 44, 44, the four, no matter which way you put it, it's going to always mirror each other. It'll never change. No matter how you flip the four, it's going to always be, it's always going to reflect. So that's a reflection. That's a duality of reflection. It's a reflection. No matter how you looking, it's going to reflect some way or another. So, while we may falter in acts of goodness, hold on. Okay, while we may falter, we possess, oh, wait. Delves into the duality of human nature, showing that we may falter in acts of goodness. We possess an innate resilience in the face of misery and pain. This misery is often self generated, born from our own unbridled passions and desires. We are given the gift of reason to master these chaotic emotions. Yet society often praises those who glorify destruction over those who nurture life and truth. True, true. We want to alter. And then it's sad that our people, they want to alter the truth because they don't want to face the truth, not even with themselves or within themselves. But I always say that this is such a self reflecting demonstration. So when the prophet put this compilation together, it was a compilation. This is a compilation. So coming from all the master, the schools of thoughts and all in here. But even though it looks as thin as it is, I'm telling you, the expansion of this thing gets bigger and bigger, like literally, probably really about there. After you're finished, like, and I ain't even gonna say you ever finish because everything's about self-reflecting. It's always more work you can be doing. So it may get bigger and bigger and bigger over time, but I swear about that much information comes out of you. Because as you start unfolding, no matter how many times you're reading these chapters, as you're unfolding, because it's not something you just pick up and read once. This is not what this is. This is like literally a recipe book to your life. When you're going through whatever you're facing, this right here is going to have a recipe in it. The prophet made no mistakes because Allah makes no mistakes. So the prophet coming in his form as he did with the soul and the spirit of Allah, mother and father, this was the compilation. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Know yourself. So you got to know yourself first. The wisdom of self has to be first. The knowledge of self has to be first. And your father got Allah. Because once you know you and you really know you, then you know your father. You know your father and you know your mother. That you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree. That's the uniting of Asia. So because I don't agree with what you agree with or none of that, every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree. So because I don't worship under your vine and fig tree, don't make me wrong. Because you don't worship under my vine and fig tree, don't make you wrong. It makes you no better than me, and it makes me no better than you. Your blood is just as rich as mine, and my blood just as rich as yours. So it don't sound like there's no favoritism around here. I'm gonna continue. Continue. Yes, praise Allah. Praise Allah. Because we gotta find it. So when the prophet brought, know thyself and thy father got Allah, know thyself, know you, thyself, thyself, yourself. It's even written on the, before you enter those halls of learning or the pyramids, know thyself is up at the top. The genealogy of Jesus, Justice or Isis. I like to say Isis. I like to say the woman, the mother. With 18 years of events, life works and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. So if it's always been a mother matriarch, what do y'all have problems with this person maybe being a man? Because they even say Jesus looked androgynous. They even say he was androgynous or looked androgynous. I don't know. You know, the one that they paint for y'all. He looked androgynous. There were androgynous gods too. When you go to the tree of life, on the left side of Ra is an androgynous god. You can't tell if it's a bird, if it's a female, if it's a male. It's just beautiful colors and just beautiful. The other side is the heifer, the cow, because that's the fullness of Allah. Represents the fullness. So androgynous represents one side of the spectrum. The fullness represents the other. But do I call myself a cow or do I call myself a bird just because that's what they're representing it? No, I need to look further into what's the symbolism of that cow. What's the symbolism of that androgynous bird? What are these symbolisms? Because then maybe I can better understand what's really going on. So is it he or is it she? Do we really know? These are just things we've been told. We don't know, and man knows not by being told. Period. If man must know, then be what you know. If you know that to be true, then be that. If you know everything you know to be true, why aren't you being what you know in every aspect, spiritually, emotionally, financially, humanitarianly? All of these ways. Be what you know. Because man and Allah are one. So there's no separation. There's no one outside of me I'm looking for to come and save me. I must save myself. Because no one's coming out the sky to save me. No one's coming out these trees to save me. I got to work on that and do that for me. So the genealogy of Jesus. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. He or she. These secret lessons are for all of those who love Jesus and desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus, or justice. For all those that love justice, because Jesus' name means justice. We have that The prophet ain't missing nothing. If you want to know why I say that, why you say Jesus means justice? Why you say that? I'm gonna tell you why. All right. What is the I'm gonna start at 30. What is the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was a Moabitess. What is the modern name for Moabites? Moroccans. Where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest of Mexam. What is the modern name for a Mexam? Africa. What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco? Sultan. Where do we get the name Jesus? From the East. What does the name Jesus mean? Jesus means justice. 37. Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name? Yes, but it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin. That's why I said, yeah, Jesus is the name you're familiar with. Jesus means justice, though. How much deeper does it go than that? Because justice is blind, don't they say? And justice is feminine. That's the aspect of feminine. Because the mother breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. How do I know that? The mother is the higher self. So it talks about the lower self. And we talk about higher self and lower self in all the teaching. Because even in the Quran itself, it's going to go from the higher self to the lower self, or it's going to take you from the lower self and take you into the higher self. He's going to give you the remedy. So what people represent the lower self? Those who were cast out of the holy city and those who accept their teachings. It just told you, even with the name Jesus, did they give Jesus a holy name? Yes, but it cannot be used by those that are slaves to sin. That are slaves to sin. I told you the sin starts in the wish and the desire, not in the act. So if you're enslaved to sin through your wishes and desires and passions, the sin's already taken place. Doesn't matter if you didn't act on it. It's the fact that it was already there in your mind to do it. So those that accept their teachings, what is the higher self? The higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. So justice. Jesus means justice. Jesus means justice. Right? Islam? Jesus means justice. Ugh. Okay, so can the higher self pass away? No. Why? Because it is Allah and man. It is Allah in man, the higher self. Now we can talk about your lower self, and we can talk about your lower self from coming out of that Kundalini energy. Yes, I've been trying to align chakras. It's a lot of things I've been involved in over these years that people have no clue about. That even when I come to touch your hair or do anything, I'm already knowing you're out of alignment just by the teachings that I've been taught. So we can talk about this lower self. And this lower self, you're not even realizing that. Let's talk about the base of your spine and talk about that being like a generator. Like a generator, you're gonna, in case your power go out. And on that generator is attached the extension cord. Let's say that extension cord is 40 feet long, but it's all tangled up against that generator. And it's trying, and as that generator comes on, it starts moving and it's trying to untangle itself and move itself up and create a way to plug into source through the three prongs. The three prongs is the three trinity, the mother, the father, and the son. It wants to plug in the source so it can get the energy it needs to stay in its highest essence. But that Kundalini energy, which is in our lower energy, our lower nature, tends to stay stagnant. And a lot of times we don't know what to do with it. So when that lower energy does start to rise, we have no control over it. It's like a live wire that's just going crazy. It's trying to find its way, but you're not guiding it in the correct way because we be so out of alignment because we're so caught up in the wrong thing. We should be caught up in us. That's why I put the stuff up too, to see, well, who's gonna come on and build? Who's gonna come on and have something to say that we can create a solution to this? How are we gonna love each other more if everybody's hiding behind a lie? So, dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all that love Jesus or justice. Or your mother. How about that? Dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order, and your children will learn to love instead of to hate. So I need you to hear that, ladies and gentlemen, since nobody thinks they need nobody. There are instructions that say you do though, because this is why the house don't be in order. So even if mom and dad are always working and somebody else is watching your child, your house can't be in order either. Because the mother and the father's energy needs to be the thing that sets the house in order. Period. That's why mamas can't do it by themselves. Because it said, dear mothers, teach these lessons to your little ones that they may, see, may, they might learn to love instead of hate. But with all yo up and down, they may not. But guess what? Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order and your children will learn to love instead of hate. This ain't about a religion. Yeah, your religion should be love, if anything. Not everything they sold to you. The love should be there. Because, see, with mother and father, the children will learn to love instead of hate. Because if the daddy is there to enforce law, mama puts the law down. Daddy enforces the law. Some of you women, y'all want to say the law and enforce the law. Nah, that ain't the way it works. You stepping on his toes. And that's why the children can't learn to love instead of hate. Because you want to be the husband, the wife, the leader of the house. You want to be all that. And you just want him to go out, work, and be a yes man. Not cool. Because there's no balance there. The children are seeing, if it is that way, then children are seeing the mama bully the daddy. So then when they get older, what are they going to be? It's going to be hard for them to have a relationship. You can't soften them because they watched you bully their daddy the whole time. And vice versa. We don't realize that these things could affect our children. I don't care how perfect you think your life is, how perfect you think your structure is. You don't know what's bothering your children till they get older and tell you about yourself. Let me tell you, I'm one to know. All my children are grown. So even for people that done came on my post talking stuff, y'all just started becoming parents. I've been a parent for 33 years. About to be 34 in a minute. So it's mighty funny. So that don't matter. If it's not being done in unison together, if we're not building together, look, love, these are the laws. This is the way that the house, this is what I'm expecting of the children. Da, 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 da. That's why it even tells us in the divine constitution, wife, obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Husband, support your wife and children. Husband has allegiance has to be to Allah first. He has to be listening to the laws and the orders that Allah is bringing to him. But through Allah, please understand the counsel is that mother. That's why we have children. Allah, the mother, the higher self. So the higher self making law, enforce it. Enforce it. Because you're allowing your extension cord to stay tangled up and it's going haywire trying to get loose to connect the source. The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale. So Maury Science ain't for sale. Maury Science ain't for sale. Your nationality ain't for sale. None of that. Proclaim your nationality. Proclaim it so the world knows who you are. It ain't just about you yelling it on the screen. Proclaim it in the right way. If you're open and a trust or any of that, proclaim it in the right way. Make sure you got your titles on your name. Because that's what's going to hold it. That's what's going to tell you. Those titles to your name are the titles to the land. That's what ain't nobody saying. Those titles on your name, Bay, El, Ali, Day, as titles to the land. Five, those five civilized, if you want to call them that. So this ain't for sale, but for the sake of humanity. And as I am a prophet and the servant is worthy of his hire, you can receive this pamphlet. You can receive it at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing this pamphlet of 1926. This is 1927. This is 2026. How many years has that been? How many years has it been? And we know this. And we know this. This is the knowledge. It don't to say that you're gonna agree with everything. But let me tell you something, truth never changes. This is a compilation of through all the religions that everyone talks about. This is a compilation that comes from the greatest teachings. Because in all of them holds truth in all of them. Because man is truth and falsehood is strangely mixed up. So in all of these doctrines, they hold an ounce of have some truth in them. It's just whether you can find the truth or not. Are you just going off of parables that the man up there on the pulpit's telling you, and you ain't went back to research it? You read it, you went home and read it again, you prayed on it, but you did no researching of the words of the scripture. You didn't ask AI, hey, break this down like I'm two. You just took it upon yourself because you're an adult, you know how to read, you understand words, you have a degree. That don't mean jack squat. When my teacher taught me, I had to empty my cup out because what you think the means in one sentence don't mean in the next. When they're using different semicolons and colons and apostrophes and commas, and are you stopping to really breathe? Are you really seeing what because you got to stop at those things. You got to know what they mean, because is it a continuous from that, or is it something describing this, or what is it? We don't have it all figured out. Ain't none of us perfect, but we're working toward perfection. It takes all of us to work toward that. And if you have knowledge and you ain't been sharing it, that means you've been gatekeeping from the rest of the people that you say you love your people. But do you just love people based on the idea of who they are? Because maybe they got shiny clothes and shiny stuff above their garments and shiny garments on, and shiny hair weave and things that you don't know, makeup and all the things that we do to make these people look the way they look. Because if y'all seen half of these so-called entertainers without the makeup and the hair, y'all might think they are some men at that point. Because makeup and hair do a whole lot for people. Makeup and hair do a whole lot for people. So, my thing is, hey, why don't y'all just start showing up on this screen like y'all who y'all are? Take them filters off. Take them filters off. Most of y'all won't do that. Whatever picture you got there. I done had my pictures up. I done been on video. Y'all can see that. Don't hurt my feelings. Somebody say I look like a man. Oh, well, I know I'm not a man. So I ain't all crunched up in my drawers thinking, no, I'm not, because I know I'm not. And those are people that know nothing about me. So why should I care? But my thing is, why should you care? Why is misery the only thing you run to when it's the insufficiency of knowledge you just don't have? Insufficiency of knowledge makes us run to misery. That's why even in good, we're feeble and insufficient. That's a word. That's a word. That's a word. Ain't it? I'm going to read another chapter before we get up out of here. This chapter is important. It's important to my mothers out there, to the women out there. I've been seeing a lot of women being unalived over these past few weeks. I mean, more than ever. Now, it's been happening to our sisters a lot, whether they're coming up missing, whether they're being unalived. And at this point, it doesn't matter the color of the skin because I'm seeing all kind of women. One woman tried to jump out the car, and the police went to stop the dude. He went off on a high speed chase or whatever. But he jumps out the car and run. I think he was kidnapping her or something, holding her hostage in the car or something. But he was of another nation, and they caught him, and he couldn't even barely speak English. So all I'm saying is these things are happening, and they're happening to our sisters on a global scale, on a big scale, whether they're traveling to these other countries, going to these islands, whatever, stuff's happening to them. And nobody's screaming nothing about that, but quick to defend this. So as mothers and as women, there's a duty. There's a duty. As a mother, I can't even say as a woman, as a mother. Because if you're a mother, a real mother, some people are they had children, they ain't real mothers. But as a mother, we're gonna say that. There's just a certain there's duties that we're here to do. And if we were appointed to be counsel over life, we were the ones that were appointed to be counsel. Because we're able to bring the children into the world. When that spark hits it, it can grow within us. We have the ability to allow that to nurture and mature and become a whole person. So it's being counsel and being over this. Chapter 2 in the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet is so, so important. Because it's the education of Mary and Elizabeth in Zone Egypt. Mary and Elizabeth. Elizabeth was Mary's auntie. Elizabeth and Mary were pregnant at the same time. Even though Mary was young. Immaculate conception is what they would call it. But a woman can literally, there's ways that these things could happen, even through your mind in manifestation. That's how powerful we are. No matter how they try to sell you the story, that's how powerful we are as the Asiatic woman. The son of Herod, Archelaus, reigned in Jerusalem. He was a selfish, cruel king. He unalived all of those who did not honor him. He called in council all the wisest men and asked the infant claimant of his throne. The council said that John and Jesus both were unalived. Then he was satisfied. Now Joseph, Mary, and their son were in Egypt, in Zon, and John was with his mother in the Judean hills. Now John's with his mom, right? Joseph and Mary are with their son in Egypt. John and Jesus, cousins. Elihu and Salome sent messengers in haste to find Elizabeth and John. They found them. They brought them to Zone. Now Mary and Elizabeth were marveling much because of their deliverance. Elihu said, "It is no strange happenings. Law governs all events." From olden times, it was ordained that you should be with us, and in this sacred school be taught. Elihu and Salome took Mary and Elizabeth out to the sacred grove nearby where they wont to teach. Elihu said to Mary and Elizabeth, "You may esteem yourselves thrice blessed, for you are chosen mothers of long promised sons." This mother and son thing, this Mason, that mom and son. That's how life continues. A mother has to have a son in order for life to continue. So he can get a wife and they could create children and bam and keep going and going and going. All praises due to Allah. Who are ordained to lay a solid rock. So these promised sons are ordained to lay a solid rock, a sure foundation stone on which the temple of the perfect man shall rest, a temple that shall never be destroyed. We measure time by cycle ages, and the gate to every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race. An age had passed, the gate unto another age flies open, at the age touch of time. This is the preparation age of soul, the kingdom of Emmanuel, Allah and man. And these, your sons, will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of good will to men and peace on earth. A mighty work is theirs, for carnal men want not the light. They love the dark. See, these carnal men love being in the dark. They don't want no light. And when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. We call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can reveal the light. And you must teach your sons and set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal, and make them conscious of their missions to the sons of men. Teach them that Allah and man are one, but that through carnal thoughts and words and deeds, man tore himself away from Allah, debased himself. Teach that the holy breath would make them one again, restoring harmony and peace. That naught can make them but love. That naught can make them one but love. That Allah so loved the world that he has clothed his son in flesh, that man can comprehend. So even Allah, mother and father, had to bring flesh so that people could comprehend what was really going on, because they didn't believe this spirit realm. They never believed it, so it had to come in a form of a man, a woman, or both. Because not understanding how spirit can occupy one body, two bodies, three bodies, 500 bodies, six, spirit could go into whatever body it feels it wants to be in. So whether that's a man, a woman, the spirit is going to go where it tends to go because it roams freely. Now, whether it attaches itself to a soul, some of these great spirits, they want to attach to a soul. So they want to be in a good form. Because not every form has a soul. Not every person is walking around here with no soul. And you can tell by their actions. You can tell by their words. You can tell by their deeds. The soulless people, you can even look in their eyes and see there's no soul there. It's just like this car of Krishna it's a form without anything in it. This car of Krishna is just a shell. There's no motor in it, no steering wheel, no nothing in it. And the people are just friends and they just got the car of Krishna, they're carrying and praising this car like it's a Jaguar with everything in it. So an age had passed, the gate to unto another age flies open at the age touch of time. This is the preparation age of soul, the kingdom of Emmanuel, of Allah and man. And these, your sons, will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of goodwill to men and peace on earth. A mighty work is theirs, for carnal men want no light. They love the dark, and when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. We call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can reveal the light. And you must teach your sons to set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal, and make them conscious of their missions to the sons of man. Teach them that Allah and man are one, but that through carnal thoughts and words and deeds, man tore himself away from Allah and debased himself. Teach that the holy breath would make them one again, restoring harmony and peace. That naught can make them one but love. That Allah so loved the world that he clothed his son in flesh that man can comprehend. The only Savior of the world is love. And Jesus, son of Mary, comes to manifest that love to men. Now, love cannot be manifest until its way has been prepared. And naught can rend the rock and bring down the lofty hill and fill the valleys up, and thus prepare the way, but purity. But purity in life men do not comprehend. And so it too must come in flesh. Jesus came, purity, right? So purity has to prepare the way. Purity got to prepare the way. But purity in life men do not comprehend, and so it too must come in flesh. And you, Elizabeth, are blessed, because yours is purity made flesh, and he shall pave the way for love. Purity has to come first before love can come. Purity has to pave the way for love. This age will comprehend but little of the works of purity and love, but not a word is lost. For in the book of Allah's remembrance, a registry is made of every thought, word, and deed. My grandma used to tell us that book of the Lamb, or that book, that there's a book that he's keeping track. That he keeps track of everything you do, and he's gonna tell me. That book of Allah's remembrance is not necessarily a physical book. Allah being all encompassing, all omnipresent, omnipotent. That book of remembrance stays on the dial plate of the mind of the mother and the father, of the universe itself. Every time we send out a thought, it hits it. It goes to the universe. The universe hears it. That's why it says your thought, words, and deeds. Your thoughts, words, and deeds. A registry is made of every thought, word, and deed. And when the world is ready to receive, lo, Allah will send a messenger to open the book and copy from its sacred pages all the messages of purity and love. Then every man on earth will read the words of life in language of his native land. And men will see the light and walk in the light and be the light. And man again will be at one with Allah. That is so true. Man will be at one with Allah, no matter what your circumstances, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you've done. When you come to grips that you and Allah are one, and you do the work on yourself to heal from them past traumas and them past things, or to feel like the only way you belong is if you're a part of a thing, a discussion, a certain group of people. No, man must, you got to, let me tell you something. Every man has to worship under his own vine and fig tree. Every man and woman. Just because you hear man don't mean that excludes you sisters. It means you too. Woman got man in it, don't it? So talking to both. Talking to both. Everyone must worship under their own vine and fig tree. So what is your vine and fig tree? What is your lineage? What are your roots? That's your vine and fig tree. And because my vine and fig tree ain't attached to yours, don't make yours no better than mine, and makes mine no better than yours. So the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, divinely prepared by the noble prophet, this circle 7, the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guidance of his Father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father God, Allah. So this was never meant to be That this is just what it says it is. This is what it says it is. It's a Quran that was divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. And Allah guided him. The Father God Allah guided him in this compilation, the great God of the universe, to redeem us, his brother and sisters, from our sinful ways and fallen stage of humanity. We have fallen. Angels fell, we fell with them. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care what kind of degree you got with none of that. We fell with them. We fell into all these passions and desires of other people that ain't got nothing to do with us. We've taken on all their customs and cultures and everything that ain't us. And when you try to make something that ain't yours your own, it's never going to turn out right. It's never going to turn out correctly. It's not. So you can run from yourself. You can, whatever you think you're doing. But truth will never change. And your opinion can't alter truth because that's your opinion. The truth is the truth. And the truth is out. And the truth is going to be more in your face than ever before. Get ready. Because a lot of stuff you didn't want to even think of was true, even about yourself. So stop worrying about everybody else and whether this is or this ain't. I put it up there to see really where y'all's minds are. And it really starts to show the hate that you really hold within yourself. It really does. The hate you hold for other people. Because you're just trying to find something to dislike and always running from the truth. So don't run from the truth, y'all. Truth is but one. Truth is At. At is Allah. And the truth is never comfortable. The truth is stern. Truth hurts. Every time you hear truth, something behind it, truth hurts, truth is stern. Truth will never change or pass away. And truth is but one. We have to remember that. Even within ourselves, as we go along, no matter what's going on in our lives, we know when stuff is right and when stuff is wrong. No matter what you do in your life, you know it sits in your spirit, and your soul's essence be going, I don't even want it. But what part are you listening to? Your higher self, your mother? Are you allowing that extension cord to come up off that generator and reach its highest essence to plug into source? Are you letting it just go haywire within you? If you need any of that work, you can reach out to me. I do that work for real. I just don't broadcast it everywhere. But I do that work for real because I do that work on myself. And at this time, I'm going right back to school again, and I'm back in these books again of what I studied many years before now. The hair thing became unimportant. My people became more important to help in the uplifting of humanity. That's going to be my purpose. It's never going to change. I don't care. I don't care if I never touch one head again. I don't care. My purpose is to help uplift humanity and to join in the arms of my brothers and sisters that are doing the same. If that's not what your purpose is, that's not your purpose, and that's fine. And whenever I'm posting something you don't like, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Because y'all post a lot of stuff I don't agree with, and I don't necessarily say anything at all. Because my mama told me if you ain't got nothing nice to say, just keep your mouth shut. So I keep my mouth shut. I keep my mouth shut. But I hope y'all have a good night. This was a great live. I told y'all I wasn't coming back on here, but I'll come back on if it has something to do with this or defending myself, to be exact myself. I'm just playing. But no, I don't feel like I had to. I just feel like I needed to say that. And I don't care how many people don't like me. If you unfollow, great. Give me a reason to deactivate this bad boy because I've been trying to find the deactivation button. And for some reason, I can't find it. But let me tell you something. I remember I used to go straight to the deactivation button. Unfollow, unfriend, do whatever you need to do. You can act like you never knew me, whatever makes you feel better. But that's not going to change my trajectory. That's not going to change my reality because I don't agree with what you agree with. Peace and love.